Grew up in a small town in Idaho. Back then, there was about maybe 2,000, 2,500 people in the town. When I was growing up, to me, it seemed hopeless. I was conditioned at a young age to think that, I wasn't going to make it out of there. I knew one thing, and that's one day I would make it out. I just didn't know how. We grew up in a two-bedroom trailer. It's just me, my mom, my brothers and sisters, my stepdad. I remember walking to school with my mom, you know, every day on the weekdays. I remember, being broke, being on welfare, my mom using, food stamps all the time. My mom always made sure that we had, food on the table. We always had Christmas and everything. We were pretty much broke, and but she made it, the best she could for us. Growing up in a small town where the minorities, the majority of people were white, we did get looked down on. There was only a few things to do in that town. One was to get in trouble, and the other one was not. So I chose to get in trouble, hanging out with my friends. Around that age, I started experimenting with, drugs, weed, drinking beer. Didn't really care too much about the outcome. First time I went to juvie was, I think I was 13. Didn't really care about how it affected my family. Didn't care how it affected my mom. Being the minority of that town, I thought that's what we did. Being in and out of juvie, I was accustomed to it. Didn't really bother me. It was normal. It was normal at that time for me to be in juvenile detention center. 17 years old, got tried as an adult, ended up going to prison for it. Pissed off at the world, pissed off at my friends, and just pissed off that this is where I ended up. I went through prison, and the reality of it is that I spent 11 years in there. What happened in there was not going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I knew that one day I'd be out of that type of lifestyle. So on December 12th, 2008, I remember looking back at my friends up in the windows. They were in the top tier and they were throwing gang signs at me. I didn't throw any gang signs back. I just waved. And right then and there, I decided I'm never going back to this life. Going through the prison system, all that, I just realized that, I didn't really trust anybody. A lot of things around me just didn't seem pure anymore. They seemed like lies. It seemed like a lot of lies. Wondered for a long time, is this it? Was that it? Was that supposed to be my life? Was I supposed to be in prison? Was I supposed to be on drugs? Was I supposed to be in a gang? And I look at my son now, and he's 17 years old at the time, the same age as when I went to prison. I look at him, and he's a really smart kid, and I just think to myself, I'm proud that I stopped doing what I was doing so he can have a better life. He's growing into a young man, and I'm glad that I stopped that cycle within my family. I got my other kids to think about as well. I pray that they don't go through anything that I went through, even the mental aspect of it, being on drugs, thinking I was worthless, thinking I was a loser, a lowlife, because I didn't come from much. I was at an age where I thought materialistic stuff was where it's at. Great car, nice clothes, big house. That's all a facade, to live by. It really doesn't mean anything. The most important thing to me is my family, people that are positive in my life. Coming from a small town where I really felt hopeless just makes it that much better for me right now. Being positive and understanding that compassion always wins is where I'm at right now. My kids, changed my life. They have me see the world through a different lens. I'm proud. For the first time in my life, I'm proud of where I'm at, and I'm proud of the people that I've helped, and I'm proud of the family that I have. And I wasn't always proud. There was just a time where I just didn't want to be around anybody. Going through the years, going through the days and the weeks and the month and just maturing and learning about growth and learning about myself and learning about the people that are truly around me for a positive reason, I started getting hope again, and learning to have them relationships with my family and my brothers and sisters and my cousins, just learning that I have to sacrifice for everybody's differences as well as mine. If I help someone, I don't expect, anything back. And that's how it always should have been. And I didn't think that way. So it made me kind of neglect my family and friends and push them away. Some of them I'll never get back. Everybody out there is dealing with something. Everybody out there is fighting some type of battle, whether it's with their family or friends or with themselves. And some things I believe are just in my head. I overcame all that. I'm a much better person now, much more positive, much more compassionate, understanding, forgiving. I'll continue to rise and I'll continue to grind, and I'm going to push, and I'm going to push harder and harder. To the people out there that are fighting some type of battle, just understand that you're more than you think you are. Understand the way you are right now is probably just perfect. And a lot of things are just in our head, and a lot of things stem from when we were younger. It's not about where we are right now in our life. It's where we want to be. It's where we're going to get to. I truly believe if we do nothing, we are nothing. Us as people are meant to help each other, We're meant to give a helping hand, a lend a hand to, our people, our family, our neighbors, and, building them relationships with people just make us better. I'm going to work hard. Just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on the people that believe in you. You're going to be okay.